All right, welcome to AP US History. I'm Mr. Dennis, for those of you that do not know me. I would just like to make a really little quick video to kind of let everybody know what expectations are for the summer. Um, Things that we're going to go over are: what are the summer work? How do you do it? How do you access it? How do you turn it in? When is it due? Why are we doing this? I would also like to give you a really quick overview of the class, kind of what it's all about, kind of what's on the Schoology class and what it's there for, and those kinds of things. Okay, so the first thing is I'd like to welcome you to AP US History. So welcome. I'm really glad everybody signed up for the class. I'm looking forward to the year. Normally I have a meeting at the end of every school year where I get a chance to meet everybody face to face. Everybody walks out with their summer work and their book and all of those things, and you're good to go for the year. Obviously not the case with the circumstances of how we ended the year. Not the case this year, so this is what's in its place, which makes it a little different for me, but we're gonna get through it. Our goal in the year is very simple. Obviously to go over U.S. history, but far and away, the thing that I want to see everybody accomplish the most is I would love to see everybody pass the AP U.S. history test. For those of you that are unfamiliar, one of the first 2 Fridays of May, I'm not sure the exact date at this point, we will take a test, the AP US History test. Those of you that pass it will get college credit. In the case of US History, this is pretty unique. Most colleges are going to give you, their US History classes will be from like colonization to like the Civil War as a class. And then after the Civil War to present is a second class. Since we cover all of that in AP US History, a lot of colleges will give you 6 credits, which is 2 classes, which makes it especially advantageous to pass that class. Because of this, the class is pretty intense. We move pretty fast. We cover a lot of material. So communication is key on making sure that you keep caught up and then let me know where you're at, or if there's circumstances in your life that have changed, please keep me in the loop. Those are all good things. Moving forward from that is kind of why we're doing summer work, and this is a direct connection. There's a lot of information in AP US History. So to make everybody's life more manageable come school year time, it's just really advantageous to knock off the first 5 chapters of the book. I hate summer work, truth be told. Like, I wish we didn't have to do it. I think the summers are really important for you to recharge your batteries, to, spend time with your family and your friends. But just to make your life more tolerable in the school year, knocking off these chapters is really essential. This allows me to not give you work over Christmas break, not give you work over spring break, and then also a little bit of flexibility when there's always a week it seems like everybody's sick or something, where you can kind of maybe tap the brakes a little and say, hey, let's get healthy. Without summer work, none of those things are possible. So that's kind of why I put the summer work in there, just so everybody knows. Now, what is the summer work? Let's kind of talk about that. Actually, let's go back really quick. Let me kind of revamp. Signing up for the class. It is important that everybody signs up for the Schoology class. If you are watching this video, I'm guessing that is probably you. However, I do have about a dozen people that have not signed up for the class yet, which brings me to my next point. Please, this summer more than any, we need to communicate with each other better than ever. Like I said, usually by the time school's over, everybody has their book, their work, they know what's expected of them, and we all go on our separate ways and do what we have to do. This year, obviously, by signing up for this class, this is new for me. I'm making all the videos and all the stuff as we're going, so I'm kind of continuing to work and getting that stuff on there. So it's not all there right now. So please communicate with one another. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is in the update section of Schoology, I'm going to put a list of the 12 people that have not signed up yet. Please, and I reiterate this, this is not a shout out. This is not a dressing down of everybody, like, look at the people that didn't sign up. Like, I'm not putting everybody on blast, like, make fun of them. So please don't come back at me like, I'm offended you put my name out there. It's just, I'm trying to avoid a situation where you show up on the first day of school and it's like, I ask for the summer work and you're like, summer what? I had no idea we had to do that. and you start out with a series of zeros, or a situation where you're trying to do 5 chapters with the work as we're starting on chapter 6. Like, that would make your life pretty miserable to begin the year. So I don't want to do that. So by putting that list of names up there, that's a shout out to everybody else. Like, if you're in the class and you see like, hey, that's my buddy Jimmy on there, maybe shoot Jimmy a text and say, Jimmy, check your school email. Mr. Dennis has sent you a couple emails on how to join the Schoology class. You need to do that. The other thing is communicate with each other about this. Like, if you see this intro video, like, everybody that you know that took the class, why don't you shoot them a text and say, hey, Mr. Dennis put up the summer work, so now we know what we need to do. So please communicate, spread that around. That's a key thing. I'm going to be sending emails out to everybody knowing that stuff's up there. Please communicate with me. Feel free to email me whenever you have a question. I will do my very, very best to get back to you as soon as I can. Every now and again, I do leave the house, so if I don't get back to you within like 10 minutes, I could be out grocery shopping or vacationing or whatever it is I do. Do not think you are bothering me. And if I do not respond in a couple of days, send me another email. Don't think you're bothering me. I'm not going to be like, that Terry, he sent me 3 emails already. Because sometimes things do get lost. And if I am on vacation or something, it's sometimes good to be reminded, like, oh, it's right, I got to email that person back when I get home. So make sure that you kind of let me know, like, and again, I'm not going to be offended. It's pretty hard to offend me. So that's why I'm here. So make sure you communicate with me what's kind of going on. Okay. Summer work. Everybody probably wants to know what summer work is. Normally I have you read the first 5 chapters. Obviously that can't happen this year. So I'm going to make videos for each of those 5 chapters. To go along with each chapter, there's what's called a guided reading. A guided reading is basically a series of questions that let me know that you watched the video or read the chapter. Obviously, because you don't have the book, you can't read it, but you're going to watch it. In Schoology, there is a folder that says videos. Within that folder, it's going to say like Chapter 1, Part 1. That means it's the first couple pages of Chapter 1. I've made a video kind of telling you what's in there. The very first slide will always be a slide that says questions. That will let you know what questions on the guided reading are covered in that video. So video number 1 from Chapter 1, Part 1, I think only covers question number 1 on the guided reading. So when you're done watching that video, you should be able to answer question number 1. I think Part 2 is like questions number 2 through like 5 on the guided reading. So when you're done watching Part 2, you should be able to answer question 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know, if you don't have answers, you can kind of rewatch the videos. Make sure, and I'm going to reiterate this, watch the videos in their completion because, again, we want to pass the AP exam. That's in May. This is June. That's a long time to remember this stuff. And I do have 2 weeks built in to review, so don't think we're not going to review. We are. But the more time you take with this stuff, the better off you will be. Which also kind of goes to when you do the work. A lot of people are going to, I know last year I had a couple people that as soon as I put it out, they wanted to have it done within a week so they could enjoy their summer. I understand. I don't know, sometimes doing it in just that quickly with that much information, sometimes that's not the best way to retain it. You know you better than I do, so do it how you see fit. The same thing goes for if school starts, I don't know when the date is, don't do all the work on Labor Day, so we come in the next day and you're like, I did 5 chapters worth yesterday. That stuff doesn't stick as well, so kind of space it out. Right now, I have videos from Chapter 1 in Schoology. As soon as I'm done making this video, I'm going to start with Chapter 2. So hopefully in the next day or two, I'll have all the videos from Chapter 2. It's my goal by the beginning part of July to have all 5 chapters up there. Ideally sooner rather than later, but who knows what kind of comes up. In Schoology as well. So you have the video section, you have the guided reading. There's 2 other folders. One of them it says extra videos. These are not mandatory. These are just extra videos that you can watch those videos to kind of reinforce what you've learned. Again, not a bad thing to do considering that the AP test is our goal. Spend a little bit extra time with this is always a good thing. What I have in there mainly are the crash course history videos right now. Those are pretty entertaining. He does a pretty good job making those. He gives you a lot of information in a pretty small amount of time. So I recommend those. They're pretty good. The other folder it says discussion questions. Right now it's blank. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do exactly with that. It's not going to be a formal part of your summer work. Anything that's put in there will probably be an extra credit kind of deal. So that's how it works. When you do your guided readings, I ask that you write those out. That does not mean type them. That means write them out. And the reason I do that is because it's very easy to say, like, hey, Bob, you do number 1. I'll do number 2. Frida's going to do number 3. And we're going to cut and paste them together. So just to avoid any kind of complication with that, I ask that you write them out. I also think writing stuff out longhand makes it stick better in your brain. There's actually research that shows that. So I'm a big proponent of writing it out as opposed to typing it. All of this is due the very first day of school. So my class is, I'm probably going to say, like, hey, before we get started, pass up your summer work. So we're going to have that stuff kind of all in the first day of school. Okay. Notice I just said my class. So the other thing I kind of would like to reiterate or introduce, there are 3 sections of AP US History this year. I am going to teach one of those sections. The other 2 are going to be taught by Mr. Menach. I don't know if you know Mr. Menach, but he's a great guy. He'll probably be on here helping people out. So some of you are going to be in his class for the school year. Mr. Weber, I know in a meeting, talked about dividing the summer class up at some point in the year. So those of you that are in Mr. Menach's class will be put in a Schoology session with him. So there's a potential that we know in the middle of the year, or in the middle of the summer, but I don't really know how that's going to work. We've never done this before, so just throwing that out there that could potentially happen. Just if it does, we'll have to roll with that. So other things. I think that about covers it. Big things are please communicate with each other. Like I said, take a look at the list of people that have signed up for the class, and I would much appreciate you sending some text out to those people so we get everybody in the class. I'm going to try to send an email to let everybody know that, hey, this video is up here, but you might want to kind of throw that out to everybody, that there's a video out there that we can watch to show our summer work. When you have watched the video, I ask that you like it in Schoology. I'm going to put this in the update section. It'll also be in the video section, but if you could like the update where it says it's in there, that would be great. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to email me, and we will be in touch. Other than that, have a great one.